covering the community, events, and people of Georgia, Carolina. This is the Means Report. Here is Brad Means.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Means Report. So glad you're spending part of your Sunday with us, especially during now the busiest, really busiest time of the year. Masters Week is upon us, Easter is just a week away, and April is, I hope, off and running to a very great start in your household. Thanks for tuning us in today. It is really going to be a life-saving day to lead off the month, that's for sure. We have a couple of guests on the set of the Means Report to talk about the importance of organ donation, especially one of our guests who has tremendous firsthand knowledge and appreciation of the value of organ donation. She will tell you her story, and her daughter will talk to you more in depth about the need to register. Also, we're going to talk about blood donation on this Sunday and the importance of giving the gift of life, not only from a pediatric nurse practitioner who sees the need in our young people every day for blood, but also from a young man who has just hit quite a milestone in the world of blood donation. You'll hear his story, and I hope it'll inspire you to donate blood as soon as possible. It's easy, it's painless. You can do it every 56 days. You'll see in just a few minutes right here on the Means Report. But first, we want to welcome back some old friends, Cheryl Gay and Tracy Ide. And I mean old like we've known you a good while, not old like you're old people. I'm glad you're here, Cheryl and Tracy. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Thanks for having us.
All right, the topic once again is organ donation.
Yes.
April kicks off Organ Donation Awareness Month. We want people to know this. Let me start with you, Tracy, and then I do want to share your story and give us time for the viewers to hear it. But the first thing I noticed when I looked at the statistics when it comes to organ donation, Tracy, is the humongous difference between the number of people who have registered to donate and the need
Yes.
for organs. It's not even close. The need is nowhere close to being met. Talk about how great it is and what can be done to help those numbers get closer together between need and availability.
Well, right now we have over 3,400 people waiting in Georgia for a transplant. In South Carolina, over 1,000. So look at the two together, close to 5,000 people waiting here just in the CSRA for a transplant. The numbers that we have for transplants, we only average nationally 28,000 a year, and that was for 2011. So we're just not getting enough transplants to meet the needs that we have. We don't have enough organ donors. People aren't making that decision to actually donate.
I know that you and your colleagues at LifeLink of Georgia work tirelessly to change those figures. You see them on your television screen to make that waiting list a little bit more manageable.
Okay.
Tell the people how easy it is to register. Is it still a driver's license type thing?
Yes, it can be three simple ways in Georgia. Go to the Department of Driver Services. They're going to ask you, do you want to be an organ donor? You say yes or no. It takes less than a couple of minutes to make that decision. Or you can go online to donatelifegeorgia.org, less than 5 minutes to sign up. Or you can call LifeLink and we can send you a registry form and you can fill it out, mail it back into us. Three simple ways.
Does one organ help? How many people can the typical donor help, and what's the max they can donate organ-wise?
One organ, eye, and tissue donor can help up to 60 people.
60?
60, just from being an organ, eye, and tissue donor.
Unbelievable. And is there an organ that is more in need than others?
Kidneys.
Really?
The majority of the list, there's over 113,000 people waiting nationally. The majority of those are waiting on kidney transplants.
One of the most popular topics we cover on Channel 6 in our medical segments is diabetes. Is that probably the link to these kidney problems we're seeing?
Yes. Hypertension's a big one, especially here in the South. It's another one we have.
Cheryl Gay, you are Tracy's mom. You are a heart transplant recipient, which makes us extra thankful that you are with us today. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm doing okay.
I'm sorry for this next topic because last time we talked it was pretty much a joyful 10 or 12 minutes together, but now there's some anxiety because you need another heart. How'd you get to this point? What happened?
Well, about 7 years post my transplant, I had never had any rejection. Life was wonderful. I could do anything I wanted to do, ride my bicycle 30 miles a day, whatever. And I was just so thankful. And then I developed some tiredness and some shortness of breath, and when my doctors checked me, they realized I was going into chronic rejection.
How long have you had heart number 2?
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10. And who gave it to you?
My donor was, of course, it's anonymous at the time, but since then I've gotten to meet his family, and he was a 28-year-old young man named Ty Harrison Bray, and he died with an aneurysm, but he and his family had discussed organ donation, and so they knew that's what he would want to do. He had a 2-year-old daughter. He was an artist, a wonderful young man who loved life. And I've had the privilege of honoring the legacy of his life by sharing our story with others. And I also created this pin that I wear every day that says, "His gift gave me life." And this is one of the ways I honor him.
It's true. Ty Bray does live on in Cheryl Gay to this day, and you, unfortunately, Ty's heart may be about to give out or may be in need of replacement. What are the doctors telling you about the prognosis, and what can you share with our viewers about how anybody might be able to chip in?
Well, what we did at first was treat the chronic rejection with medication,
Right.
and that slowed it down. And then it became to the point that the medication wasn't working any longer. And so I had to go through the whole evaluation process all over again, just like I was starting from scratch. I didn't get any consideration for already having had a transplant before. And so once my doctors at Emory decided that I did qualify to list for a second transplant, my name went on the national waiting list last July 27th. So I've been on the list for 8 months now. And the first time it was only 6 weeks.
Wow.
And so I've had to adjust to waiting, and this time my symptoms are very similar. I'm very tired, my energy's gone, I get short of breath, I have a lot of irregular heart rhythms, my blood pressure's real low. I take 41 pills a day.
41.
But I know that when the time is right, that I'll get that call, and then I'll be able to hopefully start my life over again, feeling good and living healthy in the world of transplantation. Because it does work. I've got heart friends that are 25 years out.
Really?
Yes.
25. I hope you beat them.
Me too.
Me too.
Tracy, any idea how long it might take for mom to get that call, or typically how many people stand in front of a person who's been on the waiting list since July, like your mother has?
Every case is different. When we have an organ, we put it from the donor to the recipient by their blood type,
Okay.
height and weight, how sick they are, and how long they've been waiting.
So a heart becoming available doesn't necessarily mean a heart for your mom?
No.
Okay, so go ahead, please.
So blood type, height and weight, how sick they are, and how long they've been waiting. Mom is actually waiting at home, but we have some people who are waiting for hearts in the hospital. So that organ, even if they just got listed last week, if it matches, we'll go to them first. Which is, it's a blessing that she's at home waiting. She's not in the hospital waiting, but it's, you know, it's kind of one of those things.
I don't want to get you out of your area too much, but can you give us any update on the medical technology that exists today, the science that's out there? Because we can use parts of hearts from animals to help humans, but not whole hearts at this point. Anything like that that might be a quick fix, a Band-Aid?
No.
No.
Unfortunately, her symptoms and what she has, there's no quick fix except for another transplant. There's nothing else that's going to fix it.
Now, some people, if they're waiting for their first transplant, we do have the technology of ventricular assist device for hearts.
Right.
And that's kind of like an artificial heart, and they can use it as a bridge to transplant. And that helps, or maybe destination therapy if they really don't qualify for transplant. But a redo, as they call me, doesn't qualify for the VADS because it would be an open area, and we're already immune suppressed. It would make us more prone to get infections.
Take me back to the procedure itself. What was the time frame between you feeling at your worst, new heart being implanted, and you noticing, oh my goodness, I have a new lease on life? Was it immediate?
I was sick for 7.5 years, and it was a gradual go down. And I was in the hospital waiting for my new heart, been there 3 weeks. And the nurse comes in with this big smile on her face and says, "Cheryl, your heart is on the way."
Oh my goodness.
And so they gave me my first dose of immune suppressant and got me ready for surgery. My whole family arrived, and we were so excited knowing that I was supposed to get my life back. On the other hand, though, we knew a family was sad because they had lost a loved one.
Sure.
And so we were, it was kind of mixed emotions there. But they took me down to surgery, and they made the first cut at 4 a.m. And at 8 a.m. the surgery was over. And they removed my old heart, which was supposed to be the size of your fist. And when they removed it, it was the size of a football.
Good night. Your heart.
My heart was that big. And so that later that afternoon, I was off the respirator. The next morning, I was sitting in a chair. 2 days later, I was out of ICU. When they moved me out of ICU, I was walking the hall, the entire hall that afternoon. And within a week, I was discharged from the hospital. 3 weeks later, I was walking a mile. The day I got my heart, I could walk 5 feet on oxygen on a heart drip.
It's amazing.
So, and when I woke up and realized the surgery was over, it was like instant feel good. I could breathe and talk at the same time, and you know me, I don't like to talk.
No,
so.
no, not at all. No, I hate having Cheryl and Tracy on the show because I just have to pull things out of them. A couple of questions for you, Tracy, very quickly. First of all, I don't want to state the obvious, but the more people we have on these registries, perhaps the shorter your mother's wait is. Is that pretty much how it works?
Yes, the more people that we have that are on Donate Life Georgia's registry, the more donors we'll have, the more transplants we can have, the more people that we can save.
And secondly, talk about the harvesting procedure if you or a loved one is considering donation because of the fear that's out there still that they're going to take your organs too early.
Yes,
not give
that
you a
is
fair
a big
shot.
myth, right?
Yeah.
The recovery process is done in a sterile OR environment. The hospital does everything they can to save your life before they call LifeLink. When we come in, the doctors who pronounce you brain dead, you have to be brain dead to be an organ donor. The doctors who do that are completely separate from the ones who recover the organs. And we do that so there's no conflict of interest. So LifeLink recovers the organs in a sterile OR environment, and then they're taken to the transplant centers.
How do you stand on livers, pancreases, intestines, lungs? Still a great need for all of those
Yes,
organs?
all of those organs.
And tissue still
And tissue,
too.
eyes, everything.
And a reminder that if you want to be a kidney donor, of course, you can be a living kidney donor. About 2/3, give or take, last year, living donors who said, I'm going to give up one of my kidneys.
Yes, it's amazing.
It is amazing. And I hope that this month is the start of something special for you all, not only professionally, but personally. I hope your registry numbers grow, Tracy, because that's what your job is. And Cheryl, certainly I hope that you get your heart. We see you every year during organ transplant month, organ donation month, excuse me, but you're more than welcome to come back in between and show off your new heart to us, okay?
I will.
All right, you'll be in our prayers big time too.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you being here very much. Cheryl Gay, Tracy Ide.
Thanks for having us.
As always. When we come back on the Means Report, we're going to talk about blood donation. This gift of life edition of the Means Report continues with that. And a little bit later, the question of the week in the wake of such a tragedy involving the shooting death of a 10-year-old boy. Should we have new laws when it comes to parents and guns in the house? All of that as the Means Report continues.